So I am a 25-year-old guy living with my parents. It was an early morning when suddenly my dad woke up and told me that he had an excruciating pain in his chest. After rushing to the ER, they told me that he had a heart attack and needed to go through operation, and the operation went smoothly. I told it to my GF, and she came to visit at the hospital the day after. It was like 1 p.m. when we met at the hospital, and we were having something to eat, and I was looking through her phone. Suddenly, I saw some videos where she had recently visited. She told me that she was visiting the... I felt betrayed. I felt like my world had shattered. And what wrong did I do? She told me at last it was just a guy friend, and she also said that he had recently proposed to her, but she rejected. I felt kind of at a loss and asked more, and she also said he also hugged her and touched her, which made to have nothing but disgust for her. I was so scared about being cheated on and told her, please don't do that to me again and again, and how my past had done wrong to me, and how they had wronged me in the past. And after that, I told her, did you kiss? And she kinda hesitated and didn't say no right away. But deep down, I knew that they had already done that. I was raged and felt so betrayed that I told her why she had done that. I lost my mind, and she told me she cheated because it was my fault. Like, how is that my fault? I told her since the first day that I don't like that sort of things, like cheating and meeting with people behind my back, and I had set boundaries, but she crossed them all. She left without saying a word, and the next day came. It was like 5 in the morning, and I woke up. There was no place to stay in the hospital, so I had slept in the hallway near the stairs. My dad was about to discharge after 6 days, and when you reached home, and after reaching there, I messaged her why she had done that and why she had betrayed me. She said he was just a friend. But if you guys are friends, then why did he propose to you? And why are you still friends with that person after he proposed you? Or was I just an option to you? She said that I made her do it. Like, how TF you tell? It's my fault. And after she had cheated on me, the first place, she never apologized for the things she had done. I forgave her at the past, like things when she had talked to her ex, even though they were not together anymore, and how she was talking to other guys behind my back. Maybe the relationships should have ended that instant. But I loved her then, so I couldn't back then. I told her to leave my things tomorrow when we meet, and she was hesitant at first. Then she agreed. My dad had wanted to meet her and insisted to meet her and told her to come visit once. But she disagreed and said she wouldn't. Like, how can she do that to the people who look after for her for 3 years? The next day came, and I remember it was 5:25 in the morning, and my mom was screaming my name, shouting loudly, and my stomach dropped when I came to see that my dad was like having an attack, and I could hear the death rattle, and after within some secs he left us. And like, I was crying and shocked that it didn't happen, and my uncle came and rushed him to hospital if there was still time, but no, he left us right there that moment. Then all my friends came to know about it. But I also told her that Dad was no more. She just told me that she cannot meet anymore and she won't come. Like, who on earth leaves someone in their hardest time when they need you? She told to move on from her like it was nothing, like I didn't even matter to her. She told to take care of myself and just blocked me right after. I was deeply destroyed and deeply devastated by what events had happened, and it haunted and still haunts me to this day. I still ask myself that, did I really deserve that? Was I wrong? I met her during our first year at community college. We got close quickly, did all the lovey-dovey stuff. Good mornings, good nights, holding hands. Of course, we got intimate too. But we waited about 4 months before we had sex. When we finally did, it wasn't great. We never quite clicked physically, but we were amazing in other ways. We shared favorite spots, watched Marvel movies, and followed the same YouTubers. We were both focused on our careers. Eventually, I started spending more time at her place until I basically moved in. She lived with her parents, who were first-generation Mexican immigrants. Living there was very different from what I was used to, but the food was incredible, and I started picking up Spanish. Life was generally good until the bad sex became a lingering issue. Despite that, we kept pushing forward with school, but she started struggling. She switched schools, took on more hours at work, and had a high car payment I couldn't help her with. We were broke and still living with her parents. I won't pretend I was the perfect boyfriend. The stress of living together and being broke wore us down. We drifted apart. The sweetness faded. She got annoyed that I didn't love her family like she did. I got frustrated with her spending habits, and our sex life had completely stalled. 2 years into living together, in December, I noticed her talking to a guy. I felt uneasy, but didn't pry too much. After all, I had female friends, too. One day I checked her Snapchat and saw a shirtless guy asking when she was going to shower. I brought it up. She said it was weird too, and nothing was going on. I let it go, but I never fully trusted her again. Honestly, I never had, especially after seeing how easily she lied to her parents. She started a new job and made some friends. I was genuinely happy for her. She'd struggled to fit in before. I met her new coworkers, even had drinks with them once. I was unraveling, constantly checking her location, texting obsessively, becoming someone I didn't recognize. Then the truth came out. My brother spotted a Facebook profile picture of her and the guy. She claimed he was being weird and would confront him. That night, while driving to her parents' house, my sister called. She'd seen my girlfriend and that guy at a festival together. No doubt it was them. I asked her in the car, "You did more than text, didn't you?" She looked at me. "Yes, we had sex once. Then we're done." She cried, packed up her things, and left. That should have been the end. But there was more. She'd been dating him for 8 months while still with me. She had an abortion during that time without ever telling me. She traveled to Virginia to sleep with another guy. Even the guy from her previous job? Yeah, they slept together too. Her coworkers set her up with that guy. They lied to him and said she was single. That broke me. I ended it, removed her from the lease, and tried to move on. I can look back and say, I get why she wasn't happy. The sex was bad. We didn't share enough in common. I stopped being affectionate. I criticized her and her dad. I judged her drinking. I didn't share her faith. I couldn't support her through school the way she supported me. So no, I don't blame her for wanting out. But I didn't deserve to be betrayed the way I was. I didn't deserve to have my trust destroyed. I didn't deserve to possibly lose a child without even knowing. We ended on September 12th, 2024. I still get nightmares. Still feel the weight. I only reached out once afterward to say I forgive her and that I was sorry for how this affected her family. There's so much gray. I hate how long we kept trying. 4.5 years gone. I was planning to marry her, but that was just a pipe dream. That's my story. If you're reading this, I hope you never have to go through anything like it. My M46 became suspicious of my wife, F46, a few weeks before spring break. The first sign was she went away for a girls' weekend with 2 of her coworkers to one of their lake houses. She had done this before, but when she returned, she was groomed very differently. As a child of the 80s, I definitely prefer a natural womanly aesthetic, and she came home from the weekend completely shaved. I thought it was strange, as she had never preferred that look. But there was a hot tub at the lake house, and I chalked it up to her cleaning up for the hot tub. The second sign was the next week. She was out late, and when she came home, she went straight to the shower. She never showers at night. It was at that point I became 90 to 95% sure something was going on. I was frozen, not sure how to confront or what to say. I sat on it for a week until we were taking a road trip with our 2 kids to New York. While there, I told her of my suspicions, because she caught me in an ugly cry while listening to the musical Aspects of Love. She denied for a week. As we were coming home, she was going to a conference out of town for 4 days. I caught her packing lingerie, and that was indefensible. It all started to trickle out. At the holiday party, her AP put his hand on her thigh while they sat at a table together. She said it made her uncomfortable, and she froze, but didn't tell him to take his hand off. Later that evening, they found themselves alone, and he kissed her, and she kissed him back. Weeks after this came out, she revealed that that night was the first night they in her car. The evening before her conference, when it all started to come out, she told me AP was going to be at the conference too. She said she would break it off and wanted me to know it wasn't anything but sex. We met and started dating when we were 17. We were each other's first and onlys. She is still my only. We both cried. She promised to break it off at the conference. I was a wreck. On Life 360 the whole time. I knew, based on patterns, that things were happening there. We chatted on FaceTime evenings, but not long. She come home and said she ended it. I demanded all the truths. Don't know if this was a misstep, but it's what I needed. She unveiled a lot the night she got back. They had been having sex, a lot of sex, since the holiday party. They started in the car in parking lots, which seems crazy and dangerous of lewdness for me. Her boss let her use the lake house for the weekend. She was with him the whole weekend. At the conference, she told him I found out, and that this trip was their last fling. She had sex with him each night of the conference. I am destroyed. She says she loves me. She says she doesn't want a divorce. He AP is married with kids. Also, she has been taking a certain shot that has helped her lose more than 45 pounds over the past 9 months, and that the new attention was the appeal. She also said the sex was different. AP is aggressive, pulls hair, holds her neck. It's very different than how I am. She says it was just about sex. That is what is so personal and shaming. I love my wife and can't imagine a world without her. I am going to see a psychologist, but the appointment is still a month away. Couldn't get an appointment for 8 weeks. I just don't know if I can ever trust or forgive. I can't look at her without feeling sick. I find myself wondering if I should be less loving during sex or more aggressive. She seems like a different person, and I feel as if I am not enough. I hear what is being said, but there is a deep, almost 30-year history here. There is an unspeakable depth of love. Leaving seems the only option, but it also seems impossible. We discussed her not going on the conference, but it was a necessity for work, and it all came out the night before she was to go. We discussed what breaking it off looked like. I was lost and broken at the time, and essentially said, "Get whatever it is out of your system and come back to me." I think this is my greatest regret of my actions. She is remorseful. She is ashamed. She is infinitely apologetic. We haven't told or shared with anyone. She's petrified her family, her father and sister will find out. She didn't want to share the things she shared. I had to know. At first, she was aloof in what she shared, but I made her say it all. I would ask for details, and it did hurt her when she saw my pain. Ultimately, she did ask, "Haven't you ever just wanted to fuck somebody?" And while I admitted to being human and lustful, that I would never and could never, and that's the hard part too, up until early March, I would have sworn the same for her. I think it's undoubtedly true that her drive for their sexual relationship was greater than it's ever been for us. We had what I would consider pretty normal sex life. Sex about once a week, or more likely about 3 times a month. That's unknown and unexperienced is where my mind lingers. We have not had sex since this came to life. 1, out of health concerns. They did not use protection, and 2, because I just can't. Our 20th anniversary is weeks away, and we are taking a solo trip to reinitiate and reconcile our marriage. I only wish my counseling appointment was before. We have talked about if this doesn't work, then we may be irreparable. My heart can't bear that thought, but my stomach and limbic system